Yeah, so recently, just few days ago, we had it on the news all over regarding the recent demolition by the Ministry of Environment around places at Mobile, Ilaje, Ikota, at the Lekki axis. And a couple of contacts have already come to my DM to ask me what's actually going on, and the reason behind some of these demolitions, because these are investors, developers, and even homeowners losing their investments and a lot of millions, because the cheapest of those duplexes will probably be like around maybe 60-70 million. So in this episode of Meet the Property Guy, we'll be looking at the Ikota Lekki Demolition, and we'll be looking at the entire situation in three perspectives: the perspective of the government, the perspective of developers, and then in perspective of investors. In case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, this is Meet the Property Guy Property channel, and this will discuss everything real estate for first-time investors, avid investors, property seekers, property owners, property investors, people who are interested or are already buying real estate here in Lagos and in Nigeria. We talk about everything basically that you need to know about risk, about documents, about titles, about return on investment, about developers, about real estate companies, everything you need to watch out for, and everything you need to understand for you to invest here smartly and safely are what we talk about in this channel. So after watching this particular episode, I will also advise you go to our different other playlists. We have playlists on Lekki, playlists on land documents, playlists on Nekpe, playlists on Ibejuleki, playlists on Lagos mainland, on shortlets. You are definitely going to learn a lot from it. So let's go straight into the topic: the Ikota Lekki demolition, the government perspective, the developers perspective, and then the investors perspective. So before we go fully into the topic and into what we are really going to discuss about, in case you have been watching our videos, this is your second video, this is your fifth video, this is your fourth video on our channel, we really want you to subscribe, because we want to grow our channel, we want to grow our subscribers list, and we are also going to be introducing membership anytime soon. So we want you to subscribe. If you have subscribed already, we want you to turn on the notification button so that as we are dropping these videos, you get notified and you don't miss any of this. So going straight into the video and going straight into the topic of today, the Ikota Lekki demolition. So we are going to start first with the government perspective. Early this year also, we had some couple of demolitions, particularly around the Ajao estate, and all over social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. A lot of different propaganda was centered around that demolition, and then people started broadcasting is a tribal issue. People are targeting some certain tribes, people are targeting some certain clans, and fortunately, at least with this Ikota Lekki demolition, nobody as at today has gone online to talk about maybe the government are targeting any tribe or the government are targeting any clan. And that's why at times when we try to explain some certain things to investors, you don't really have to turn some certain things into tribal issues or tribal differences. The same government that went to Ajao estate and demolished houses have gone to Ikota and demolished houses. I've gone to Mobile, I've gone to Ilaje and demolished houses. And the truth is, the government most times don't really care who owns these houses, the tribe they are from, the clan they are from. They go there and demolish as long as they want to demolish. So this just to at least back up our claim and back up some of our assurances that as long as you are investing in Lagos, nobody is targeting you based on your tribe, nobody is targeting you based on your clan. Now, the recent demolition that happened in Ikota was carried out by the Ministry of Environment. Now, these are the people in charge of drainages, water channels, canals, parks, garden, and anything that is related to the environment here in Lagos. Is one of the most active government parastatals and government ministry in Lagos. The Lagos state government don't joke with environment. That's the truth. And the publication from that particular office, that particular ministry, regarding the demolition at Ilaje, the demolition at Mobile, the demolition at Ikota, is basically that those properties are at the drainage and canal alignment. Now, we all understand that Lagos is a coastal city. We are close to the lagoon. We have the lagoon side, we have the ocean also. So naturally, Lagos is a lowland. For the island, is even a peninsula. We have the Atlantic Ocean at one side, and then we have the Lagos Lagoon at another side. So the island is extremely prone to flooding. Most of this flooding is not even a natural disaster. It's just an issue of water channels, canals being blocked, drainages not well channeled, and some part of the island is going to shock you. Some parts where even houses are being sold at 60 million, 70 million, there is no drainage at all in the street. No drainage. So that's going to make you now ask the question that when it rains, where will the water drain into? So there have always been this challenge and this question and this lackadaisical attitude of people just building and not really caring enough or putting enough attention to canals, to drainages, and then to ensuring that all these different water drains are well channeled, they are not blocked, and these drainages, there are enough setback from buildings to these drainages. So unfortunately, the ministry had to bring down these buildings and also demolish these houses that they find in the alignment or along the alignment of the canals and the drainages. Now, a lot of reclamation is happening on the island. Go to Ikota, go to Orchid, go to even Ikate, go to even Osakpa also. A lot of reclamation is happening in this axis every day, with people sand filling swamp, sand filling even places close to the lagoon, just to have some buildings, penthouses, apartments, waterfront houses, creek view houses, and different names that they give all these buildings and all these luxury houses. But the fact is, we really need to pay more attention to the environment too. We really need to pay more attention to the water channels and leave these water channels alone. And the fact is, the Lagos government are just starting with what is happening at Ikota. I'm very sure, I'm very confident, if the government really want to enforce their assessment, because they went to VGC, they went to Ikota, both the Ikota GRA and Ikota Villa, they went to Lekki County, they went to Osakpa. If they really are going to enforce all these alignments, all these canal alignments, all these drainage alignments, a lot of more buildings are even going to come down. All right, so let's go into the perspective of developers this time around. Now, a lot of people have already been labeling developers being greedy and asking questions, why will developers go to a place and build houses, build mini estates without approvals, cutting corners without titles, and so on and so forth. Now, to be frank, a lot of the blame will also sit on the developers that go into this location, putting hundreds of millions in building these different structures in places where they know that is close to the canal, there is a waterways, or there is a particular water drainage channel close to where they are building. But again, the Lagos real estate is very complicated. When I say complicated, I mean very complicated. Now, the same government that is going to stand to demolish some people's houses, the same government have different ministries. So we have the Ministry of Environment, which are the people that demolish the houses. We have the Urban and Physical Planning, that's another ministry on its own. We have the Land Bureau, Ministry of Lands, that's another ministry on its own. Now, it's going to shock you that all these different ministries are working with different master plans. Very, very shocking. At times, you are going to check a particular property at the Ministry of Lands. By the time they get to physical planning, they're going to tell you a particular different thing. That, oh, sorry, the government want to do so thing there, and it's not at the physical, it's not at the layout or the master plan at the Ministry of Lands. Now, the worst of it all is that the layout at the governor's office is even not even different from the layout at the Ministry of Lands and at the layout at urban and physical planning. So there are so many complications, really. There are so many complications. Now, this is not me giving developers excuses, but this is just me creating an awareness for you also that intends to invest in Lagos, or some of you guys are already eyeing to go into development. Building approvals is very important, regardless of the title on the land. The land can have governor's consent, the land can have CFO, the land can have gazettes. Building approval, obtaining building approval before you go on and build is very, very important. See, the government have proposed coastal road that are going to run from VI down to Eleko. There are hundreds of houses existing right now along that proposed coastal road, and even the government themselves at each different administration, they change the alignment of the road. So some properties that are going to fall within that coastal road alignment, now when a new administration comes, the property may not fall under the alignment again. And some properties that are outside the alignment before, when a new administration comes, might fall under the alignment if that one to changes it. So these are just some of the complications with Lagos real estate. That's why it's always advisable, if you want to do a project in Lagos, you want to do a build and sell in Lagos, regardless of how long it takes, try to go through the building approval process. It's going to save you a lot of headache, because the government at the building approval level, they are going to check all the ministries. They're going to check at the Ministry of Lands, they're going to check at the Urban and Physical Planning, they're going to check at the Ministry of Environment and Waterways to ensure that this building can actually stand there. They're even going to check the number of floors permissible in that area. So these are just some of the things that the building approval saves you. Now, the building approval, just like perfecting title, is also cumbersome. I will also understand how cost of material changes within weeks, how cost of everything in Nigeria changes within weeks. So developers also want to go to sites as fast as possible, as early as possible, so that they can work around all this inflation in materials and inflation in construction, whatever. So most times when they file the building approval, they don't wait for it to come out before they go to sites. By the time that all these Lagos State building control and agency come to site, buildings are already at roofing level. And when buildings are already at roofing level, they just sort the people that just come to site and then continue building. So these are all the different discrepancies that have already been happening. The government themselves need to make a lot of system work. System in terms of perfecting titles, systems in terms of obtaining building approvals. Because you see, these people at the ministries, all the ministries really, they are just part of like these problems too, really. Now, so those are just like the shortcomings of the developers, because the truth is the developers are aware of these alignments. They see the water there, they see the drainage, they saw the canals, they see the lagoon before they start reclaiming. And the fact is, a couple of them got the approval to reclaim, or got the approvals to actually confirm that the title is legit But this recent demolition have made everybody realize, particularly me, I've learned a very valuable lesson. Now, in Lagos, it's not just about a land is free or a land is acquisition. You must also check with urban and physical planning, because the land can be free. They can even tell you that, oh, the land is not free but it's under Lekki acquisition, is under so acquisition, but is ratifiable. You can ratify it and get your CO4, you can ratify it and get your governor's consent. But that does not mean that you can erect a building on that land, because the people at physical planning, the people at Ministry of Environment, they might have had whatever plan to create a drainage or to create a power line or whatever on that route where that particular property is located. So it's not just about a land is free, a land is acquisition, a land is not free, a land is not acquisition. The Ajao estate demolition is not about maybe the land is free or the land is not free. The reason for the demolition is simply because the Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria complained that those buildings are too close to their pipeline that supplies fuel to the airport, and they have to bring those buildings down. So all these different pipeline, canal, drainage, waterways, is always very important that you confirm that your building is not too close to it, is well away from the setback to it. So finally, for investors' perspective, definitely the people that take or took the biggest loss from this demolition would be investors, because a lot of these developers have sold the property, and some of them have sold this property 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I can guarantee you that refund is not even like a compensation right now from most of these developers. So it's most of the investors that have bought these properties. Some of them have bought and rented out these properties. Some of them have bought and then are staying there, that are the ones that are going to take the biggest loss from this demolition. And like I said before, this is just like the tip of the iceberg, because of the number of houses and buildings that they marked there, and based on their assessment, because they did an assessment before they came to come and demolish. So based on the assessment that the Ministry of Environment have done there, they are even going to take more buildings down. And it's not going to only even affect Ikota too. It's going to even still affect some other locations. Like I said before, Osakpa is there, BGC is there, Orchid is there, Lekki County is there, and that's all part of Ikate now. Once rain fall for just 30 minutes, you will not be able to drive for 3 days. A lot of these things are because of these canals, because of these drainages. They are blocked. People have built houses, built estates right to the fence, right to the wall of these canals. And the more the population of these locations expands of Ikate, of Osakpa, of Ikate, the more the population here expands, the more the government will have to also expand these canals, expand these drainages, and even build more canals to attend to the different wastewaters, drain waters that are coming from this axis, so that they can be well channeled and properly drained, and it's not going to be coming to the road or going into people's houses, whereas developers have built houses right to the wall of these canals. So a lot is really wrong in that axis based on the layout and the master plan in that axis. If the Ministry of Environment really wants to start enforcing this master plan or this layout, a lot of estate is going to go down. That's the truth. So for investors, people that are buying houses, people that are buying land, some buy to flip, some buy to rent out in this axis, they are just so these are just make you realize that there is more work for you to do. And one thing I would advise you to do is create a team for DD, due diligence. Have a surveyor in your team. Actually, the person you'll be paying the most in your team is your surveyor, because they are the one that is going to save you a lot of troubles. Imagine you bought a building for 55 million and that building has just been demolished right now, and you only have to pay me your surveyor maybe 100,000 or 150,000 to save you from that loss. Which one is more reasonable? So have a surveyor, get people to always check the physical planning um, office for their plan for that particular location. Like I said before, there is still a coastal road coming from VI, and that coastal road is going to Eleko. Proposed route, the government have not even decided or concluded yet the exact alignment is going to take, but a lot of buildings are going to go down. And when they want to start demolishing this building, what the government will be asking for is, where is your approval? Where is the approval we gave you for you to build here? So investors is very, very important. Don't let anybody pressure you. See, if there is a building that you really love, you really like, and you have a short time frame to make a decision, is not do or die. The building is maybe 200 million. Talk to them. I've not done my checks on this building, but I'm interested. Let me drop 5 million. Let me drop 10 million. If I do my due diligence, everything is okay, then we go on to complete payments. It's better for you to be chasing someone around for 5 million than you buy a house of 200 million and they tell you it's under a canal alignment, or it's under a road alignment, or a proposed road alignment, or whatever road alignment. There's even still a train that the government still want to do from Marina down to Ekpe. I still don't even know which route they want to fly that train, because everything I see from that route from Marina down to Ekpe is houses, except maybe they want to take that train underground via the ocean. I don't know. So that's just the thing, that there are still a lot that they still want to do in that place, and the government will continue marking routes and route everywhere. So that's why this DD is very, very important. Rather put down a small amount so that you are going to do your checks and everything is okay, then you can go. Because I totally understand that this market is very fast paced. A lot of people want to buy, a lot of people are on the line to buy. So but you really don't want to risk losing 660 million, lose 100 million, lose 80 million, when you can just make a commitment to tie them down with 5 million, and then they give you 2 weeks or 1 week. You do your due diligence, check approvals, check the titles, check the certified 2 copy, check with physical planning and urban and physical planning, and then check with the Ministry of Environment. Okay, everything is good, then you can go on with the actual deal. It's better. See, the truth is, you must always understand how to minimize your losses, how to minimize your risk, and then maximizing your profit. The Lagos real estate is a high risk, high yield environment. So in the coming weeks, in the coming months, I know the government will continue their announcements on more building or more structures that are going to be affected by these different alignments. Again, why these things don't work again is, I might be wrong, but when the government starts enforcement, they don't really do the enforcement to 100%. Now they have done Mobile, they have done Ilaje, they have done Ikota. Trust me, a lot of people at Orchid, a lot of people at Osakpa, a lot of people at Ikate, they'll start running to physical planning. They'll start running to Ministry of Environment. Then everything dies down again. A new minister comes again, him too will do another enforcement at Ikate, down to his stop. Another minister will come, he will do his own enforcement at Osakpa, something that it could just have been done once and for all. And it's not going to also be shocking that the same locations that the government demolish houses right now, give that location another 10 years or another 7 years, you see another party, another set of people building houses in that area again. So all these things that just a lot to look at, a lot to, when we look at just beyond what is happening, beyond the losses, beyond the emotions. There are just so many things wrong with our real estate, should I call it real estate industry or real estate market, because almost everyone have their own fair share of blame. So but we really love to hear from you. We really love to hear your own perspective. What do you think? I know everyone has their own blame, everyone has their own fault, but again, this are people losing their money. These are people losing their investments, and these are also the perfect opportunity for anyone to learn. Me personally, I've learned a lot from that particular events, because this is something that can happen to anyone. See, the fact is, nobody is a real estate guru in Nigeria or real estate guru in Lagos. Real estate gurus, they also lose money. Even developers get scammed. If they will pay for land, they will not be able to use the land. They will pay for land, they will not be able to build on the land. The developers, with all their lawyers, with all the inspectors they don't know, with all their generals that they know, they will not be able to use the land. So there is no guru anywhere. It's events like this and situations like this that you get to learn the best about what you really have to add again whenever you want to do your search, what you have to add again whenever you want to invest. Another question again you need to look out for when you want to drop your money. So these are the best situations to understand and learn from other people's mistake. All right, so we really like to hear your perspective too, and about what you think about different things that you share on this video. What do you think? How do you think we can make this better? And what have been your experience so far with investing in Lagos? I have a couple of contacts that have invested in Lagos, and they have got their hands burned. Some built houses, and then 5 years ago they got demolished. Yeah, it happened. I have a contact shared this experience with me. He built around Lakwe, and then while the government, while Lakwe Lakes came up, they demolished the houses. And the place where he built now is where Lakwe Lakes is. So all these things happen, really. All these things happen. So, and that's why I said it's not a tribal hunt, tribal witch hunt. Nobody is witch hunting you. Nobody is against you investing in Lagos because of your tribe or because of where you come from. It's just some of the harsh realities that is on ground with Lagos real estate. So you can drop your perspective, you can drop your comment. Our comment is always open. We really love to hear from you. I've tried to bring in someone that is at physical planning, but unfortunately civil servants cannot make interviews, cannot grant interviews. I don't know why they create that kind of rule. So that's the reason why he can't be here to even explain some of these things. So, but I'm finding a workaround on how I can get someone right at the ministry to come on this channel and at least explain some of these things to us, because some of these things, even myself, I don't have idea of it. So, but I really love to hear your comments and listen to your own perspective, your own advice, your own suggestion. We are really open to that. So, I see the number one property on the planet, your property advisor, property consultant, Rabi Mustafa. We know you are enjoying our videos. We know you love our contents. We know you love what we do, and that's why we really want you to subscribe. If you haven't yet, either you are watching us on your mobile phone, on your iPad, on your TV, we want you to subscribe. And if you have subscribed already, we want you to share this content, invite more people, tell more people about our channel and about the different things that we are sharing here. They are definitely going to learn a lot from what we are sharing here too. And if you also love this topic, you love what we do, you love our works, you love the amount of time we put into putting this content out there, don't forget, give us a thumb like, share this content, invite your peeps, share it on your groups, share it on your timeline. We are really going to love that, and we are going to appreciate you, definitely. So I see you in Mama Property on the Planet, your property advisor, about the consultant, Rabi Mustafa. Thanks for watching our videos, and see you next time.